Hello, very good morning. Welcome to JS Testing Academy. Welcome to the next part of video in the Rest Assured Framework series. Okay, so in the last video, we added base test, config manager, payloads, and Pojo class. Right. So here in this video, we are going to add more code into our framework, that is utilities package we are going to add. Okay, so I have added two classes. One is an enum and next one is an rest assured utility class. Okay, so enum I write made into and created as an enum. Okay, so that we can keep constants and we can use it in our test cases. Okay, so the constants we can keep it as an enum. Okay, so that is more readable and manageable, so that it can be used as outside. Okay, so we already saw this in our basic learnings, but still we are going to integrate with this our framework. Okay, so let me create post resource. Okay, then I'm going to write put add the resource here. Okay, let me go to the previous code. Okay, so I'll go to training. Okay, now let me go. First I'll take the resource of the post. Okay, I'll copy this. Okay, and I'll come here and I'll paste here. Okay, so I'm going to give the post resource here. Okay, in the enum. Okay, so I'll give and I'll give the comma here. Next I'm going to add get resource. Okay, get resource. Okay, I'm going to use double quotes. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, again I'm going back to the my previous code. Going to get the resource of get, copy it, and I'll come here and I will paste here. Okay, then I'll give comma put resource. Okay, so this will keep it in a separate class so that it can be called easily. Okay, and it's easy to change also. Okay, next put added, then again I'll go for delete. Okay, we can also add patch, right? Also, right, if it is needed. Okay, delete resource. Okay, I'll put a double quotes. Go to resource types. I'll copy the delete. Okay, then I'll paste here. Okay, so I've added all the four HTTP methods right here. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll put a semicolon. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll create a first I'll create and write constructor here. Okay, string resource, so that it can be easily called. Okay, this resource equal to resource. Okay, sorry, this resource. Okay, now I'll create an string also, private. Okay, now what I'll do is I will create the get method of that. Okay, I'll go to source, generate only the get resource. Okay, I've created a get resource also. Okay, so I'm going to use this get resource and get the write this resources. Okay, so I've created one variable, then I created one constructor, then I created one method get resource. Okay, for returning the resource. Okay, so this is our enum, right, which we created in our framework. Okay, so this is one package, and next one is we'll go to the utilities. Okay, let me add the rest assured utilities. Right, normally we use it for methods, right? Get, post, put, and delete. We are going to use the rest assured, right, utilities here and create it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, right, first I'll create one method public. Okay, void get request. We'll add post request first. Post request. Okay, okay, then what I'll do is, right, I will add return here. Okay, I'll use given dot, okay, base URI. First let me write, import the package. Let me go to the previous code. I'll copy the static import. I'll just paste it. Okay, okay, given dot base URI. Base URI we already created in our base test. Hope you remember, right? So we need to call that. Okay, how to call that? We already use the static, right? So no need to create an object here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, right, going to use base test dot setup. We'll just call those methods which we created in our base class. Okay, so base test I just called it. It's going to call the base URI dot when. Okay, dot post. Post we need a body. Body where we kept in our payloads, right? If you remember, we kept in our payloads. Okay, for that class name dot, okay, requesting body title. Okay, so we can keep string, okay, sorry, title body. Okay, we'll create arguments here, string title comma string body comma string author. Okay, now what we'll do is, right, we'll use the validation part here. Dot then, so this is a body, right? This is not a post, one minute. This is a body. Okay, then we need to add the post. One minute, let me finish the bracket. Then we'll give post. Okay, post one we need to use, right? We need to give the resource here. Okay, so for that we need to give a resource dot. Okay, so body we pass to the payloads. Now post we need to pass the resource, right? Resource, the which we created, right? Resource dot post resource dot get resource. So we'll give resource post resource dot get resource. So it's going to get the resource, copy this one and store it. Okay. Now we'll give this one post resource dot get resource. Okay. Now let's add the then condition. Then dot extract dot response. Okay. Okay. So this is what right we added here. Okay, post request string title body author given, and it's going to write extract it, and it's going to print it. Okay, same thing we'll create it for get also. Okay, we'll use it for get. Okay, get no need of right body here, so there is no body for get, right? So instead of post resource, what we'll do is, right, we'll put get resource. Okay, so there is no body here in get. Okay, so we'll take the body also. Okay, and we'll use the get method. Okay, so this is what right we do in get, right? So given dot base URI base test, then when there is no body for get, right, then get resource dot get resource, then extract, then response. So we are calling this one get resource. Okay, resource get resource and get resource method. Okay, so now I given base URI, it's going to call from the base test, then when condition, then get method, then resource dot get resource, then extract the response. Same thing we'll add it for put request also. Okay, so put request, I'll we need to add the body, right? I'll copy this one, I'll paste here. Okay, so we need right title body and author, so I'll change it to put. Okay, instead of post we need to change it to put, right? Put resource. So it's going to call this one put resource. Okay, so I just change it to put and get resource. Let me add this one string title and body an author. We are going to pass it as an argument. This will pass in our test case. Okay, test script the steps will pass it. Okay, so given base URI base test setup body, it's going to call from the payloads request body title body and author. Put resource dot put resource get resource, going to get the resource, then extract the response. Okay, now let's me going to add the delete also. Void. Okay, delete request. Okay, I'm going to copy again this one. Okay, I'll change it to delete. Okay, I'm going to change the put resource to delete resource. Okay, I'm going to pass the argument here. That's it, it's ready. Okay, Now we created four reusable methods. The rest assured utilities is a reusable methods. No need to write each time given base URI, body, post, extract. No need to write each time. One time we execute in a separate class. This we can call it to a test. Wherever you are going to use post request, call this method. Wherever you are going to use get request, call this method. Wherever you are going to use put request, call this method. Delete request, call this method. So we write a separate reusable methods in our framework that we can call it to our test case or test script, right? Step definitions wherever you are going to use it. So we have different endpoints where some endpoints we use right post request, some points we use put request, right? So for that we keep a separate reusable class outside that we can call it to our test script. Okay, so this makes our work very easy. Okay, now let me create a new class. Okay, validation utilities. I will add the validation part also. We need to do different validations, right? I'll create a separate class for this one. Okay, validation utilities. Okay, let me just play with the same right same method. Okay, let me copy this one. Okay, I'll add here, just I'll just play with it, a small right smart work. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is, right, so instead of get request we'll put status code validation. Okay, status code validation. I'll just put status code validation. Okay, so in that we'll add the same method. Status code is 200. So we'll write keep separate methods for different validations. That also we can call to our test script. Okay, same code given base URI is going to call the base test, then it's going to call the resource, then status code 200 extract the response. Okay, like that we can do different validations. Okay, for example, header validation. Okay, so instead of status code, we can change it to header validation. Okay, so in that we'll add okay dot header. Okay, let me go to the previous code. 1 minute. Okay, I'll just copy this one. Okay, content type. Okay, let me come back. Okay, I'll add this one. Okay, it's going to check header right content type equal to right application JSON character set UTF-8. Okay, like that we can add body validation also, response body validation. Okay, we can add different right validation reusable methods that we can be called to our script. Response body validation. Okay, so I delete this one, or I'll add also, that's not an issue. Body. Okay, body validation. Okay, now what I'll do is, right, I'll go to the previous code. 1 minute. Right, body title author. Okay, let me copy it. Okay, I'll paste here. Okay, body is right, title, check the title. Okay, for example, title is testing. Okay, body is rest assured, just check right it's equal or not. If it's there, it's pass or it's fail it. Okay, so like that, right, I can write different violations, we can use it. Okay, so in our right test. Okay, this we can be called right in a separate separate method, we can call it in our step definitions. Like that we can keep reusable utilities that we can call it to our test cases. So in this video we added resource, okay, and rest assured utilities where right we call the payloads, the resources and the base URI, then extract the response, okay. Same for I created for post request, get request and put request and delete request. Same thing, I created a validation class where I created status code validation, header validation and response body validation, where I can call this different validation in our test steps. I can validate different do different validation with the endpoints. Okay, hope this video is useful for you. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Have a nice learning. Meet you soon in the next part of video.